Thank you, David. They're gray hairs, they're just all in the back, and you can't see them. As we open our doors today at the boundary between Chinatown and Soho, MOCA bridges not just between the physical and cultural edges of two realms of this city, but it also encompasses MOCA's changing cultural identity. MOCA, as our first national museum of Chinese American history in the country, redefines our place in the city and in the country and in the world. From our past, growing as a Chinatown history project, which focused on telling a more localized story of New York City's Chinatown, we are now, 30 years later, entering a new chapter in MOCA's history, one that opens its doors facing its roots to Chinatown, looking east, but we also face westward, physically and symbolically. We open our doors to a larger community, one that is local, national, and international. The story of Chinese Americans, or maybe it's American Chinese, tells specific stories, which are at times difficult, compelling, and hopefully inspiring. For me, I've been brought into this partly because of a question that's been asked many times. Where are you from? And I would say, Ohio. And they would look at me, pause, and say, no, where are you really from? And though there is a universality in the immigration story, I do think sometimes if you look different, I could be 3 or 4 generations in this country, American born, and I will probably get, and my kids might get, where are you really from? As in, do you fit in here? Where do you fit in? Anyway, in this country, we are a land of immigrants, and we are all part of a larger story of how so many of us came to this country. And what these stories and histories can mean to all Americans is equally a part of MOCA's mission. We want to thank everyone who's been supportive of MOCA as we have made this enormous move. And I now have the great honor and pleasure to introduce a true champion of MOCA and of the city, Mayor Michael Bloomberg. We are joined today by someone known throughout the world as a champion of education, the arts, and culture. Through his businesses and his personal life, he has supported so many important causes that one of the major parts of his legacy is philanthropy. And while many people often refer to him as the education mayor, today it is more fitting to call him the culture mayor. Mayor Mike Bloomberg's unwavering, strong support for MOCA goes back many years. He helped create our beautiful new home by providing significant capital support and encouraging other public and private donors to join him in this support. Without him as our champion, we might not even be here today. Mayor Bloomberg, everyone at MOCA thanks you for being our friend, our champion, and our supporter, and being here today to honor us with your presence. And we look forward to welcoming you at MOCA as our mayor during the next 4 years. It is with great pleasure that I introduce my dear friend, the Honorable Mayor Michael Bloomberg. He's a block away and stuck in traffic. Like everybody else in the city with so much going on, and we are so honored that he is here. I could tell to you a little bit about the design of the space. I guess that's why Alice was nodding to me. You'll see that this whole museum is designed around a 1900s historic warehouse building. It's actually 2 buildings. We have almost a double frontage on not just Center Street, but on Lafayette. One of the key design components was to face both the east, facing our roots in Chinatown, and west to Soho and beyond. Another key component is that I've deliberately left the interior courtyard raw. And does that speak to our past, any one of our past pulling us? As you walk around the permanent history narrative, you walk around chronologically, the outer perimeter talks about almost the blending our history in this country. And does the courtyard pull you with your past? Does it pull you with memories? Another key component is as you walk around, there are portraits that have been written by some of our great Chinese American writers, David Henry, Gish Jen, and they tell stories, immigration stories, throughout the eras. And as you walk down to the offices, when you're in the center courtyard, you see the changing face of Chinese Americans to this country through the eras, all together as one family. And so even though we've come out in very distinct waves at very different times for very different reasons, we all come together here to share our stories and to learn from our history and hopefully look into the past. And do we have? Nope, not yet. So, yes, he's right outside. So in a moment, we'll get to our wonderful mayor. There we go. All right. Here, I'm proud to introduce Mayor Michael Bloomberg.